And we are going to kick off with Ivy from GameRefinery. Hey, Ivy, how you doing? Who's going to talk about one of my favorite topics, live ops-based things. So, insights on live event frameworks. Ivy, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Okay, it works. Well, thank you for having me today, and welcome to the live events Warzone. That's what I'm going to talk about today. And I think everyone here knows about the live events is a real battlefield. And that's the main battleground for the players' engagement, and that's the reason that we're all chasing the same audience. And it's not just you and your competitor chasing the same audience; it's you and your other players in the market are chasing the same players. So the secret success here is not more firepower; it's more content. And what we need is intelligence, so we can target our materials to the right people at the right time. So in the session today, I would like to share with you guys, some of the examples that can give you a competitive advantage at the battlefield. And my name is Ivy Zhou. I'm the head of GameRefinery APAC, and we work with all of the tier 1 developers and beyond. And all of the data you see today is ours and is being used in live environment. So, as we know, the harsh reality is if you don't have the right framework for a game, it's going to be really, really difficult to make it. And so what we can do and what the solution is that it's very, very okay to heavily influenced by what's working. Look at what's working and what's been optimizing. It's a point, and it's a very big point. So, when we also need to think about what's happening out there, and its audience are being trained to expect the level of engagement. For example, I've been playing the mastery games. Project Makeover is my favorite, and I have seen so many interesting events in the game when I play other games. Well, I'm just curious of what are the events, what are the guilds and collectibles that I like. So if you think about it, an empty game is just like a 3D movie that's to a silence movie. Well, it's still the same movie indeed, but the problem is you have a different experience, and the experience is the whole thing in the game. So make sure that you have the right framework for the game. So it's going to get tougher and tougher, and more competition is coming. As look, we know the HD games are not on the same level as the mobile games at the moment. But the thing is, in terms of framework, but the thing is they're moving to there. It's not just the mobile games are optimizing their game, trying to get the people's time. It's also the HD games. They're doing the same thing. So if you look at data here, 95% of the studios, the HD studios, are working on the live events games, while Xbox is going to, coming to all different platforms. So if you have an xCloud powered game and on your phone and powered by the best breed of the live events framework, which they learned from mobile, and that's more competition. And it's going to, it's going to the other way around too as well. Call of Duty, they will be released on PC as well. And so that's why you have to make sure that you have a framework that's attractive, engage, and entertain the right people at the right time. And we are always trying to optimize the greatest chance of success. So, but most of the time when people do it, they do in a vacuum, by yourself, thinking, how should we do it? What should I do? Should we do this or that? But the thing is, with more competition, especially like HD and stuff, people are trying to optimizing their game by making the circle rounder. And this is a great example I actually found. So it's a famous advertising ads from Nike, like back years ago. The campaign is the football players, they're running a special mission for a special football. And the special football is just rounder. And that's the funniest part, how can you make a football rounder? And I found it's the best example here for live events. If you think about how they have been optimizing it, it's just they always keep going and further, and that's the best live events or live ops structure. Is perfect for the audience at the moment. That's what they need. So it's never gonna stop. If you're on the journey, you're always on the journey. Yeah. And what else you actually need is to check the opportunity space. What's happening on the market. If you already have a perfect framework, if you already know how you run your games, you need to figure out, can I fit the market? How can I stay away from the red ocean? So, well, we had an experience with a developer before, and they're wondering why the start of the week was so bleak for their own game, because well, they couldn't find out the schedule of their competitor's game. The biggest rival has everything going on Monday, and obviously they share the same player pool. And even though they could have a great offer back then, but the worst, they're just at the worst time, the wrong time. They are not aware of what's happening in their competitor's game. So, well, they had to went to a head-to-head. Well, again, making sure that you have a right framework, and with more competition coming, is that people are trying to make a circle rounder and optimizing. You need to check the data. You need to have the right data, and look at the opportunity space. Where is everything happening? Because it's always going to be a moving target. Well, it's a data time. That I'm going to show today. Well, let me go through a few insights from Puzzle and MeCore. I hope you guys are going to like it, and you find it very helpful, hopefully. And well, the thing I like to say, that puzzle game is getting shifted, which blows people's mind, because if you think about it, it's the biggest piece of the business. It's also the biggest genre in the whole gaming industry, and it's also by dollar amount the biggest entertainment on the planet. So it's bigger than movies. It's enormous, and while as it's so big, it gets so competitive, and people learn from each other from different genres, and loads of big companies, they're making a lot of money by adding innovative events. They keep engaging with their players, and some of the example I would like to show in the following slides, and this is the data that we pull from our data pool. As you can see, that's the audience for different genres. If you look at this, the highest percentage in mastery is major in mainly women, female audience. And we know that women, they enjoy gaming and they like competition. They like it, but the thing is, you have to frame it in the right way. They don't as for me, I don't like toxic competition. I don't like the bunch of PvP stuff just throwing in the game. That's not gonna work for us. But if you have the framework, the right schedule, that's engage and connect with the players, and they like the experience, that's gonna be a success. And then let's go to the next one and take a look at the puzzle, how the events look like in puzzle games, and how does the competition elements come up. So this is, we call it must-have list of the events in mastery games. So these are, this is the aggregated view that we pull out. Is how popular those different events that in mastery games, and it's not that just it. It runs to the second slide, as you can see here. It's awful, a lot happening, and probably more than most people realize actually. But what I want to show more is this one. With that constant new idea are being generated all the time. That's what's driving the players' engagement, and they support by different tasks. And with the right events, you can see here, I'm going to call out those two. You can keep the players engaged, who like combined competitive events and collectibles with the right balance. And these are the ones that we see recently that, look at the data, that competitive events one-on-one and competitive events co-op are the ones just start to appearing in the market. They just came up because female audience, they like to compete and they like the content like that. And let's go take a look how that works and more granular data. So competitive guild PvP, as you can see here, is it's been running from Friday to Sunday, mostly during the weekend, and 40% of the mastery games are having this feature at the moment, and they are also supported by guild tasks that runs at the same time exactly from Friday to Sunday. This one. From Friday to Sunday as well, and also the next one, for the rest of the week, what they do is the competitive one-on-one event, that runs from Monday to Thursday. So then on the weekend, they have guild PvP and the guild tasks. They all connected together. So that's how the framework, how the schedule looks like, the framework of competitions in puzzle game at the moment. That's what's working. And, as I said, casual game is very competitive. Look at how they're doing it and think about that's what the audience are being trained to do. Well, more than competition, casual players, they're social too. They compete and also cooperate with others. And we have seen some very interesting examples since last year. Is from Monopoly. It was the biggest game last year. Well, I guess everyone agreed on that. So this game that, as you can see here, they have it's partner events or co-op events. It's not something new, but they have a very unique way to do it. They have this communal task without, you still partner with 4 other people, but have this communal task without having a guild or team system in the game. And also those, the feeling of cooperating with a single player gives people the sense of personal, private idea, and also more engaging, compare with the normal guild and the co-op task system. And this new meta keeps the game fresh, and on both creative side and motivates the players and come into the game and stay in and play. And this is the events that we have seen that since they launched it and got successful from the data numbers, other games starting to add this almost exact framework. It's truly a great one. And what next one say? Well, we see that they push these events every single month, and when we look at data back, every time when they push this event is the time they have the best performance of that month, and then change the topic, the theme every time. It's great. The whole point is that they're here, to draw the players into the framework. And these are the new motivations and features that are trending up in casual. We definitely consider the elements of these we should think about in our campaigns and the frameworks. And because top games are training the audience to expect this type of experience, it's very interesting and it's very engaging because the audience are already like those events, when they have played the game or they have the one-on-one stuff. They're gonna start wondering how can I find any other games? And for top, all of these top players in the market, they're always absorbing or learning from different other top games. They always find a new way to expand their social dimensions in the puzzle games, in the puzzle space, with additional activities which are done together. And these are the frameworks that's involved. That's actually their framework, the schedule. So the timeline shows how they keep it fresh, when they adding the new stuff, the innovations, and testing. If you look at download revenue data. And no surprise, there is a very similar, I would say, very close framework that just like Monopoly Go from Royal Match that we seen in December. And they started to repeat it. There must be a reason. So it's also, you play a Plinko game in Royal Match and also co-op partners events. And the idea is also the most successful developers are finding the ways to build communities and connections with the players. So please remember, it can be an overlooked space with some of the most dedicated players, and the social opportunities that keep people connect and engagement. But as I said, we have seen other players, like other games in casual genre has been adding this framework, gradually since last year. It works. Now, let's shift the gears to midcore. No surprise, it's mainly male audience. Probably you guys know better than me about the games here. And about competition, male players, they have not slightly, but they have a different attitude to competition than female. They want competition, the real competition. They're super competitive in general, I would say. Progression and customization, no surprise. As I said, if you look at the data here, loads of PvP stuff. And what's more important is the interplay between these events, and that's the key. You have to support each other. It cannot be just a standalone event. It's very important. And all the midcore players, they like to win. They want to level up. They want to have character skins. And I always make fun of Call of Duty Mobile. It's the biggest fashion game on the planet because it has tons of weapon skin, operator skin, emotes, and stuff. And I say Call of Duty has a bigger wardrobe than Barbie and myself. So it's here's the event framework of Call of Duty. It's all connected, but the key is still the progression. Look at the greenish blue part. Experience is a king, and keep fashion game going. Midcore players, they love fashion. It's all about skin. And Call of Duty is all about the customization and skin stuff, and that's where their monetization is. So let's go to the next slide. Here, these are accelerated by the limited time rewards, limited time gachas. It's the 2-week calendar in Call of Duty Mobile. As you can see, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's just the scheme, monetization, events on monetization, and events on fashion. And these are the key. These are the key to success that they're running their live events. One last thing that I'm gonna say that we're announcing today, GameRefinery is multi-platform. So we track the top games on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and because they're becoming live games, and all of the developers now want to know about what's working, what's the framework that's working at the moment. And a little spoiler that the next PGC presentation, we will be on total landscape of all the platforms. So, and the next one, I'm just gonna share I'll just wrap up with the key takeaways. So success isn't about firepower, it's about intelligence, it's about data, and it's a lot happening in the game. It's always being improved and optimized. So determine where the sweet spot is. It's either replicate or inverted. and you minimize the unknowns and understand what's happening with intelligence is very important because without it, you're just flying blind. Oh, thank you for having me. Just come to grab me if you're interested in everything that I shared today.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And in case you're in any doubt, I mean, a lot of these techniques you can do whatever size of game you are. You just got to work out what's efficient and scalable that your team can actually do. And there's lots of techniques about doing that, which is what I spend most of my time consulting on.